Hi there and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I am going to be showing you an unsaturated niche on Etsy, and then I'm going to show you exactly how you can take one of my pre-made templates, make some changes to it, make it your very own, and then be able to sell it really easily. So if that's something that interests you and you want some design tips and tricks, then stay tuned. We are about to jump into that now. Oh, and if you really want to follow along, then I'm running a really special offer on this particular template that we are going to be working on. So do check the link in the description and grab that and then follow along with me now. So without further ado, let's jump into this niche now. So if you follow me on YouTube or you have been a part of any of the previous masterclasses, then you will probably know what it is that I look for when I'm validating a niche. But if you are new here, then definitely follow along and I will let you know the signals that I look for in order to ascertain whether a niche is worth diving into and creating a product for. So here we are over in Etsy. I've typed in the main keyword, which is 369 journal. The first thing I look for is to see how many results are being shown on Etsy. So here we have 1,548 results. And this is on Etsy. I am not signed in. And that is just to give me a more unbiased view of the types of products that are being shown. So we're seeing 1,548 results. What I generally like to see here are results of anything less than about 3,000 results. So this is a first tick in my book. This is something that has always proved to be quite successful for me when I am trying to ascertain whether I want to go into a particular niche. There are so many hundreds of thousands, millions of different digital products that are being sold on Etsy every day. And so I really want to go that extra mile to find those products that are in demand, but they aren't being catered to as fully or over on Etsy. And that's where I'll then take that time, make a really high quality product that serves that particular niche, possibly run some ads. But to me, it just means that I have a better opportunity of reaching my target audience if the niche is not as competitive, but still in demand. So that's the first thing I look for. Then what I will do is I will scroll through the first page of Etsy and just see if I can see other sales signals such as bestseller badges or Etsy's pick badges. Then what I might then do is then click in, have a look at some of the other sales signals, which we'll go through in a second. But as we are seeing on this first page, I'm immediately seeing a bestseller here. There's a bestseller here as well. So that's an immediately great sign for me. Another bestseller here too. It's letting me know that people are looking out, searching out these particular products, this particular 369 journal, in order to potentially make a purchase. We're seeing another bestseller here as well. So this is an absolute great start. So what I will then do is I will click into a couple. So let's do that now. So this 369 manifestation journal, this is a bestseller. It is in 20 baskets. So this is something that I also like to look out for to see if it's in people's baskets, if Etsy is letting us know that there have been sales made. Sometimes say it's in 20 plus baskets, and then it might say in demand, or it might say 3 have been sold in the past 24 hours. So definitely look out for anything that's in red around this area here, because that gives you some more insight as to how this product is faring on Etsy, how it's doing. The price point of this particular journal is quite low, so that's probably why it is in so many baskets. But again, it's not going to, you have the ready-made template that I've provided for you, going through and making some changes to that particular manifestation journal, that 369 journal, in order to then quickly and efficiently be able to sell that in your business. So I have cut down that learning curve of designing your own, and all you'll need to do is make a few changes to make this a product that you can then go ahead and sell on Etsy. So with that in mind, you might want to have a lower price point to start with in order to gain traction, get people looking at your particular product and get those sales in to then eventually reach bestseller status and then make those daily sales, which I'm sure this is what's happening with this one. As we can see, if we scroll down a bit, there are 34 reviews for this particular product alone. So that means that sales are being made. What I would then like to look at are these reviews to make sure that we are taking the best bits from this particular product, We're seeing what people like, what they don't like, and including it in our own product listing as well. So if we're moving on to another product within this 369 journal niche, this is a complete manifestation planner. So not quite a journal, a planner, but then this is going to be really great ideas that we could potentially include in our journal as well. This one is in demand. There are 5 people that bought this in the last 24 hours, and it is a slightly higher price point than the one we saw before. It is more in depth. So it really depends on how far in depth you want to go with your particular product. The template that's provided, I believe, has about 20 different pages in it. So you might want to add some more or reduce it. It's completely up to you. But in order to add additional value, I would definitely say to have a look at some of the other products that are selling well and include some particular pages that you think can add that additional value. The reviews for this particular product, they're 64. So that is definitely letting us know that these are being sold. They are in demand, but with that really low competition. Moving on, again, this one is a manifestation journal. It's in 12 baskets. They are running a 75% off sale. This is also a really good sales strategy where you possibly raise the price for a limited time and then reduce the price by, it looks like they've done it by 75% to just make it really attractive to that buyer. So that's a really good way of gaining those first sales for your product. And lastly, looking at this one, this is in 6 baskets. This one is particularly interesting because it is just literally, it appears to be just a 1-page printable. So this is going to be super easy to put together, especially using the template that you have access to. And it's just showing that even something as simple as a 1-page 369 printable is still selling and people are still interested in this type of product. So, and as we can see, there are 25 reviews for this item, which means people have bought it, are buying it, and will continue to buy it. So those are the things I like to look for. I like to see results of less than about 3,000 at Etsy. I like to have a look at my first page, see if they're bestsellers, Etsy's picks. Then I'll click into a few, see if they're in people's baskets, see if Etsy is letting us know whether there have been sales made. I will then look through the reviews, see what people like, what they don't like, and make sure that we're including those best parts, those best aspects in our own product. So now that we have done our initial niche validation, what we will go into doing next is to repurpose the 369 manifestation principle template that you have been provided with. And this will just guide you through different ideas that you can do to make that particular template your very own and really to put your stamp and your branding on it. So without further ado, let's jump into that right now. We are going to be repurposing this wonderful 369 manifestation journal that I have designed for you. It's really in-depth. It's a really lovely design so far, but I'm just going to take you through a couple of really easy steps that we can take to change this out, repurpose it, change out the design really quickly, really simply, and then make it into a completely different product to be able to sell on Etsy, your own website, or everywhere else in between. So without further ado, let's jump in and do that now. So for this, we are going to use our very special AI friend ChatGPT. So what we're just going to do is we're just going to tell ChatGPT what it is that we are after, what it is we're trying to achieve, and then see if it can give us some novel, interesting, unique ideas of how we can redesign our product. So let's go ahead and give it some context now. I am a digital product creator and have created a 369 manifestation journal. I need some help with design ideas which would appeal to a wide audience. Can you suggest a few design styles, please? So we don't have to use ChatGPT. A lot of the time I just kind of just go with the flow and think about different ways that we can change up. So the first thing would be to change up the font, definitely. Maybe change up the color scheme. This is quite a dark color scheme. But ChatGPT is there to help us be more efficient. And it's just going to bring back, as we can see, it's brought back some really in-depth ideas that we can then just choose from, pick and choose from, in order to just really streamline our design process. Basically, it's going to allow us to create a really high quality, really lovely design from this original in the shortest time possible. And that's what we want. We want to get to the sales part of our process, getting it up in our store, whether that be Etsy or your own website, or even Amazon KDP. We just want to get that design done and up making sales. That's the biggest thing. So if ChatGPT can help us to achieve that, then I am all for asking it for those ideas that we can come up with them ourselves, but it's just always good to have that second opinion. So that was my little soapbox moment. Let's talk about some of these design styles that it has suggested now. So it says, of course, a 369 manifestation journal can be a great tool for those who believe in the power of intention setting and manifestation. So it's let us know that it knows what a 369 manifestation journal is, which is great. And here are some design styles to consider what that could appeal to a broad audience. So we've got a minimalist design here. Colours, soft neutral tones, think beige, muted greys and whites. Typography, clean and streamlined fonts. Sans serif is popular here. Graphics, simple, uncluttered layouts with ample white space. Use subtle geometric shapes or lines for accents. So that's a really great minimalist type of design style. We've then got botanical and nature inspired. We've got celestial and cosmic, vintage and retro, mystical and spiritual, abstract and artistic. So it's just given us a whole plethora of different design styles that include the color scheme, the color palette, the type of font, the typography, and graphics that we can include. So this is fantastic. It is something, again, that we could have come up with ourselves, but we just want to have the most easiest, streamlined, quickest way of repurposing this original journal design, and in order to be able to sell. So the design style I've gone for when I designed this was kind of celestial. As you can see, we've got some kind of universe in the background and it's quite dark. I kind of wanted it to be quite bold, hard-hitting, and this was a great one to also sell on Amazon KDP because it is still abiding by the black and white color scheme, which means that you can the royalties are not going to be as expensive as if it was full color. So I kind of wanted something that was just really stand out and bold, and it has got these celestial elements. So let's try something different. Maybe we want to go for a botanical and nature inspired. So here it says earthy tones, greens, browns, blues and soft yellows. Typography is cursive and handwritten, and the illustrations of plants, leaves, trees or serene landscapes. So let's go with that. I am going to copy this and I'm just going to add an additional page just so that I can reference what this is. So we've got what we're going to do is the easiest thing right now is to choose a different font. So here it's saying a cursive handwritten font. So let's click here. As you can see, this is quite a bold font. Let's click handwriting in font styles. And that one isn't too bad. Let's go back. That could work. Oh, I quite like that one. Brittany, maybe. Brittany's nice as well. So again, this is down to your own personal tastes. I quite like this Brittany font. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the font across the whole journal. So I'm going to click change all, and then we'll have a look. So yeah, it's changed it across the document, which is great. What we might then also need to do is just to adjust the line spacing. So we just make it a bit bigger so they aren't all on top of each other, these lines. And we might even want to make the font slightly smaller, just so that it fits nicely on the page. I'm going to ungroup this here, just bring it down a bit. And, you could also change the quote here to another manifestation type quote. You could even go into ChatGPT and ask it for a quote as well. So that's a repurposing idea there as well, if you want to just make it slightly different. What we then might want to do is change this particular font. This is quite a bold font as well, easy to read, but we just might want to change it slightly. Let's go to corporate and let's choose. Maybe I quite like Caladea. That doesn't look very much different from the original. So let's have a look. Paragraph font. Solway. Okay, yeah, I quite like Solway. Oh, I also like, yeah, let's go with the Seasons. I like that one. And then again, we will click change all. And then that has changed the font throughout our document like magic. So the first thing we've done is changed our fonts, which is going to be a really great starting point to make your product, your end product, different from the original. So we've done the typography, the colours, so earthy tones, greens, blues, browns and soft yellows. And then we've got illustrations, plants, leaves, trees, or serene landscapes. So I'm going to now, I'm going to remove this photo from the back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in botanical. And I'm just going to make sure that we are choosing the free and static elements. I'm also going to remove this element there, bring this down a bit. Okay, so now we are going to add that botanical feel to this manifestation journal. So let's have a look. Quite like this. And when you see elements that you like the look of, always click these three dots here, because then it will give you the opportunity to see other elements that are within the same family of style. So see more like this, and then it's going to bring up different elements that are with the same family of elements. A lot of these are actually pro elements, so this might not work for what we need. But if you do have Canva Pro and you are just going to sell the end product on its own and not sell access or rights to the product in a kind of business way, then you can use your pro elements as well. But because I generally am making templates that people can then use as PLR, I will always personally go for the free elements only. So we are going back. What we can do is just go through and just add different elements that kind of fit the style that we are looking for. I'm just going to add them onto the page, and then I can just move them all around as I see fit. So just scrolling through, might want a little bit of colour in there as well. Let's see all. Let's see if there's any that aren't pro. This is quite nice. And so is that one. Okay, so I've just put lots of different elements on this page, and I'm just going to duplicate this page now. And then now I'm going to just play around with the different elements that I've got. So let me remove those. I actually quite like this, which is, and that would be a really easy change to make, is just to stretch it out across the page. And then set image as background. Yeah, I quite like that. That has been a really easy change to make because the border was already ready. And I mean, we could test out. So we've got that one there. We could test out the other version of this, turn it around, and then set image as background. That's really lovely as well. And then just make the font smaller. We might even want to make this a bit less. And then, so that's really lovely. So this has been a really easy way to change the initial look and feel. We've got two different options here. So that's really easy to have done for our journal. Then all we would do is we would then just have that as a theme going out throughout our journal. So we just copy and paste that onto one page. We'd change all the black pages to white background, and then make sure we click change all. And then we change that font to black as well. Change it to maybe a light grey. And then we just copy and paste this onto each page. And then, so we might want to alternate. So this is one version of the front page. This is another version of the front page. And then, so we'd have that there. And then maybe we just want to alternate between both. There's also a border around these words, so I just remove that border. Maybe make the writing expand out a bit. And then we just do the same for every other page. So go ahead, remove the border. And then just do some sizing changes. And so on and so forth. Just remove the bits you don't want. Put this design on every other page. So we can see we've got this design here, and then we put it there, 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 there. And then we'd then put this design on the alternate page. So make sure that we've got rid of that border. So we're just going to extend this a little bit so that it doesn't encroach on the page as much. And then click done. And then all we would do is then resize this to fit in the space, which I think it is. And then we just copy that and then paste it onto every other page, making sure that we've removed that border as well. Paste, remove the border, remove these elements as well. So it just generally is just a lot of copying, pasting, deleting, but that's how easy it is using ChatGPT. That's how easy it's going to be to just get some inspiration and then apply those different suggestions that we've been given into our product to make something completely different. I'm not going to go through. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to pause the video and then we'll come back and I'll show you exactly how it looks. Okay, so I've gone ahead and made those changes and this is what we are now left with. So this is how easy it's going to be to repurpose the original design, which you can see here, and make it into something that is completely different. And then all you would need to do then is go back to ChatGPT, maybe pick a different style, maybe you might want to do vintage and retro, follow those instructions there, and then make something completely different again. So you can make a whole library of different 369 journals that are going to appeal to a whole variety of different pockets of people who are interested in this. So I hope you got some value from this video. That's it for this one, and I will see you in the next.